These are my girls from Man I Love Fwogs, which I just figured out again yesterday. Thank you to all of my reporter colleagues who told me what it was. So let's get rolling. Who would like to ask the first question? All right, Brandon, you're first.
Awesome. Thank you guys, for being here. We really appreciate it. My, question's kind of easy and relaxed. I've heard nothing but good things. I've heard that, you're all super energetic and super fun. I just want to know, how does it feel to be in the position you are? How awesome is it?
Katie, you're muted, I think.
Hi. Thank you so much for the question. It's honestly unreal to be able to participate with some of the biggest names in women's esports and esports alone. I think it was very shocking to us. It was like a big wake up call that, guys, like, we're actually doing this. Like, we're just best friends. That kind of I kind of like picked everybody up like from the side of the road, and I just like found them all. And the fact that we're able to play in such a big tournament, it's unreal. Like, the excitement that we felt when we won in the lower bracket, we were all just screaming and crying, and it still doesn't feel real. It kind of, as cliche as it might sound, it kind of feels like a dream, because being able to play with some of the biggest names in the industry, it's humbling, really.
Great answer. Let's go with Jess next.
Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for talking to us. We really appreciate it. I just want to know what you guys think an all-female and marginalized gender tournament does for the esports community as a whole.
Ellie, you want to answer that one?
Oh, sure. I think it's great because it kind of puts a spotlight on, women, marginalized genders, all of that, to really show what they're capable of, and just really go for it and show how good they can be. So like Cloud9 White, they formed together as a team like over like a year ago, just because they wanted to play in their women's tournament. And they've come this far, and they're one of the best in the world.
Great, thank you, Ellie. Does anybody have anything else to add? Not, we'll go to the next one. All right, let's go to Rick.
Hi guys, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us today. If you follow men's Valorant at all, you see a lot of toxicity and teams kind of thriving on trash talk and whatnot. Do you think that that's going to be something that also exists on the women's side of competition? And if so, are you guys going to be able to talk that trash at the same time?
I would love to answer this one, because I am kind of the glue that holds the team together. Lynn over here. Sometimes like we do thrive, like there, in no way do we ever personally attack anybody. We have a zero tolerance rule for homophobia, transphobia, racism, any of that. We have zero tolerance in my whole Discord, our whole community, anything like that. But it is always fun, like when we're playing unrated or like this or that, where we're just like, oh, we're better, like let's get this, like, just to hype ourselves up. Lynn especially is like that. She's like, they're trash, and she's like runs in with the but it's all playful fun. But at the end of the day, I think if you watch any of our streams, genuinely, it's the funniest thing, because sometimes Lynn will be screaming, they're garbage, I got this, and then me and Ellie or me and Clee will be on the side, and we're like, mwah, I give you just messing around. But I think we really do thrive, genuinely, just being excited, being happy, and just the fact that we are best friends, like our synergy is amazing, genuinely. Like we can mess around, and also in a split instant, as soon as the game starts, we take everything very seriously, and it's just cut comms.
Great answer. Lynn, do you want to weigh in at all? Are you good?
I guess you could say I'm like the toxic hype woman of the group, like I don't not like toxicity. Like, of course, I don't personally attack anybody, but like when I'm playing a game, like I kind of use my ego to focus and to try and play at my best, because I always want to do better than everybody else. I want to try and be the best player that I can. And I feel like when I do kind of hype myself up in like ways where I feel like I'm better than somebody, not like personally, but like in a skill way, I feel like I can play better, and I feel like I can help the team more with my role.
Great answer. Let's go to Dustin next.
Hey guys, thanks for taking the time. So is it intimidating at all to go up against organizations like Cloud9, like Dignitas in your first major tournament?
I can answer this one. Absolutely, it is. At the end of the day, though, we are in this for each other and to be the best players that we can be and to work as a team together. So we're really here to have as close of a match as possible and ultimately not play scared, not play nervous, and just really be there for each other to hype each other up, no matter what the score is, whether we're winning or losing, and just to really have a match that we can all be proud of by the end of it.
Thank you. Let's go to Malik next.
All right. So like you guys said, you're kind of the underdogs, and you're like this picked together team. You're going up against Cloud9 White and Dignitas Female in this tournament. But I just want to know from a few of you how it came to be that you got into esports and chose to pursue Valorant. Because obviously when we hear about, Dignitas Female and Cloud9 White, these are ladies with like legacy behind them. So I just kind of want to hear your guys' own personal stories.
I could answer just like part of that, and Klee could pick up on it too. But a few of us, like me, Ellie, and Lynn, we came from CS, and we've always like looked up to CLG Red, Dignitas, any just big names when we watch CS. But this is actually Klee's first FPS, and Juna only played Overwatch before this, and they have made it so far. And even Ellie, when she picked up Valorant, she only picked it up in December, and she like zoom straight up into Immortal. But I think the fact that when you play with a team, despite what your background is like in esports, when you play with a team that understands you and is there for you to help you every step of the way, it really just helps build you up, whether you play in ranked or whether you play unrated, whatever it is, whatever rank you are. I think it genuinely helped build us up. And Klee, you could talk about your, I guess, inexperience.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, like Katie said, Valorant's my first FPS game. And I think like playing on a team with Katie and everyone who's had like that CSGO background and maybe some more shooter experience, like it really helped me learn like really fast and what to do, because they kind of they helped guide me, told me what to do, and from there on I kind of learned on my own a bit too. But it's been really fun, and I'm really excited.
Thank you.
Yeah, June, you have a lot of former, or I guess current, I don't know, Overwatch League reporters here. So you're a woman after their own heart. Let's go to Jason next.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for taking our questions tonight. Really appreciate it. Good luck in this weekend's tournament. VCT Game Changers, pardon the pun, has the opportunity to be a game changer as far as women's esports is concerned. How would it feel that the first ever winner of a Game Changers tournament would be Man I Love Fwogs? That reaction is all I needed.
We are up against really tough opponents. I mean, we all come from Gal League and like Valorant, which is the Discord community that everyone is pretty much has to be in for these tournaments. We know a lot of these people personally. We know that how good they are, how tough they are, and how long they've been a team. So it is daunting to take on C9 White. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be difficult for our first match in the top 8.
I also wanted to bring up just the fact that if somehow by God's will we do make it up to first place, I think it would be a big step in women's gaming, because not only C9 they have proven themselves over and over again that they're amazing players. And I think the fact that we have a whole tournament centered around women and marginalized genders, the fact that our team, we are a pretty diverse group of gals. I would like to say we're women of color, we're a neurodivergent women, and I think it's really, really important to highlight trans women in gaming too, because they do get lots and lots of unnecessary hate, and the amount of toxicity when any of us just speak in game, like women alone, when we say one word, we instantly just get flamed. We get people that throw our games. But then if there's a woman of color too, then they start calling us slurs. Like the amount of times I've been called chink because they have stream sniped me or something. And the amount of times that if Ellie or Lynn, sometimes they speak, they just call them slurs too. And it's started a fire in my heart to really push for a diverse group of women to represent that we are better. We're better than ever stooping down to any of your level, to toxicity, because deep down, you know that we are better than you. And that's the only reason why you're flaming us.
That was an outstanding answer. Thanks. Let's go to Dustin.
Okay. No one's asking this, and I think everyone would probably like to know. What is there? Is there a story behind the name?
Damn it,
Katie, you want to talk about your obsession with frogs?
I don't know, man. I love frogs. Like I don't know what else to say. Like, we've had some pretty funny names in the past for all of our Gal League tournament, like all our Gal League games. We've been like Crutch Potatoes. For Yuletide Brawl, we were Egg Dogs, Eggnogs. In like, I don't know. Who everybody loves moms, everybody loves frogs. Like I have Clee got me like little frog figurines for Christmas, like just kind of came about.
That's great.
That was great. Thank you.
Let's go to Declan next.
Yeah, and kind of just from a gameplay perspective, from your VLRG.GG, you guys been playing Triple Duelist for those 3 games for the qualifiers. Is that more of a comfort thing for you guys, or do you guys just really want to scrap it every moment in the game?
I can answer this one. So, as we mentioned, we started this team as a group of friends, and at the time, it was a kind of comfort pick. Now that we've kind of realized we really have the potential to really take this to the next level, we've been looking into different team comps. So in the future, one of our duelists may be switching to an initiator role. As of now, we were kind of pressed for time before VCT to really make that switch. But moving forward, I think we are going to move away from the triple duelist comp.
All right, let's go to Brandon.
So it's obvious there's a lot of emotion, a lot of passion coming from the team, in regards to Game Changers and just the community as a whole. My question is, not just for Valorant, but for esports in the future, how important is it for your team to be a part of the movement that takes away the term inclusion and makes that just normal?
I think that if you're talking in particular about women's tournaments, I think they're always good to highlight new players, new women coming up and showing off how good they are. I think all tournaments other than specifically women's tournaments are co-ed. Like we can play in any tournament. I think women's tournaments need to stay to highlight the marginalized players coming up and really being able to show off what they can do.
All right, let's go to Malik next.
All right. This one's for Juna. As someone, from Overwatch, have you kind of taken the mantle of formulating new ideas and compositions for your team, or has it been more of like a collaborative effort so far?
Interesting that you say that. We do have an IGL. Our IGL is, Sir Katie. But we all definitely have an input in our strategy. Actually, Ellie and Lynn don't sleep like at all. And they've been actually staying up till like 6 a.m. before VCT, coming up with all these amazing strategies that we've been able to implement, which have, I've been amazing. Lynn or Ellie, do you guys want to talk a little more about that?
I mean, Lynn's really the mastermind. I just pick holes in our strategies. That way we can, make them better.
Yeah, it's like because I'm the in your face jet opper. So like the way I see it is I'm our offensive coordinator and Ellie's our defensive coordinator. I'm not a defensive player. I still run at you on defense. So like I based all of like our strats on offense and stuff are really just I didn't make them thinking about Valorant. I really made them thinking more about my CS background. And it's just adding the Valorant abilities on top of it. It's just executes that I would do playing in CS, just with a different texture over it, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's the same thing that I do too, because of the fact I have like 7 years CS experience. Just coming from CS with 8,000 hours in the game, like switching over was difficult because of all the abilities, but it's the same as util and really like abusing what your enemies will do when you use that util.
Thanks so much for the answers, guys.
All right, we have 2 last questions. Jess, you're first.
So you guys are one of the few Orglist, I mean, there's a couple of Orglist teams here, but do you think that maybe it's to your advantage that you're not quite as established? That way, maybe you can surprise some of these more established teams?
So for me, the way I see it with us being Orgless and still, we're an Orgless team and we are still in the top 8 of the teams, correct? So like, we kind of just play when we can. We play when we're available, and all these teams with orgs, they all have schedules, they all have quotas per se that they do. And for us, it's just more, we get in what we can, we get our games in when we can, and then we're still a great team. So I feel like it really highlights teams that can put in their own effort even when their schedules don't make up for it, and they can still be great teams. I think having Orgless teams in like the top 8 is a very huge inspiration to other Orgless teams to get better, to try and play more with their teams, and to put in as much time as they can, because they can be up here too with us. And that's what I think about it.
And just to be clear, they have 2 17-year-olds and a college student on there. So they're still in school. So it's not like they get paid a salary to like some of the bigger teams, but that's just me soapboxing. Anyways, Rick, your turn.
And last question, I guess, here is for those of you who are content creators, what do you think is the biggest like balancing act that you have to strike between being a content creator and being a quote unquote pro at playing a video game? Do you find that they're ever kind of like in conflict with each other, or is there one that you're paying more attention to? Like, are you paying more attention to creating content and playing games when you can, or are you really hoping that just gameplay will sell it without the content creation?
So with the content creation, usually we're trying our best, and then the content creation comes second. So we use our clips from our tournaments, we use our clips from our practices, stuff like that. Clee's a big streamer, Katie's a big streamer. Like they they just stream what we are playing, and we're focused on the game more so.
You could talk about this more too, because Clee streams the most out of all of us, I would say.
I wouldn't say it big, first of all, but yeah, I mean, streaming is fun. So kind of in reference to the last question, so me and Ellie work pretty much full time, and so like we'd get off work and then try to practice with the team whenever we can. Sometimes it'd be a scrim and like I'd be finishing my work like in the middle of the scrim just to like make it on time. But yeah, I think it's more like a whenever you can type of thing for me at least. I wish I could put more time into it with my job, but just can't right now. But yeah, I think it is really nice for people who do have jobs and other responsibilities like school or whatnot to I don't know, it can show you that you can still play in esports if you want to as well.
Katie, you want the last word before we close this out? Do you have anything to add?
I think the last thing that I just do want to highlight is we're just random girls that just decided to, I literally just picked you guys randomly off the street, like you're stray cats. And I was like, you're going to be part of my team now. Like we're best friends now. And that, I think that's a big difference with our team is regardless of what happens, we're best friends. We're best friends first. We never take anything personally. If, hey, Juna, back up. Hey, Clee, back up. Get out of there. You should have been there with me. Nobody takes it personally ever because our gameplay is extremely important, but we will never fight or argue over anything. And I think that's what is a big difference for us is that we are pretty much just a package deal. And whether or not we get signed by an org, I think we have so much potential. The fact that Ellie, she works night shifts. And then by the time Ellie is about to go to work, Clee's off of work and I'm a college student and Juna and Lynn are in high school. And it's kind of all over the place. But the fact that we still make time to play and get better together. And the fact that we made top 8 is so incredibly humbling, but at the same time, it's an inspiration for so many people. The amount of girls who've come up to me in Valorant and they're like, oh, I heard you're also a teacher. Like, can you help me do VOD reviews too? And like, I really want to get good at the game. And it's like, I can't even believe that we've gotten to this point where me, Ellie, Lynn, we used to look up to these CS legends and we used to look up to all these big teams. And I can assume Juna too, like you were big fangirls for Overwatch League teams. But the fact that we could possibly be there one day is unreal, genuinely. And I can't thank any of you enough. Like I know all of you guys work so hard behind the scenes too, and really help highlight women in gaming or just gamers in general, because gaming is a huge industry that is coming up. Like I actually, my parents didn't know I gamed for the longest time. I told them this year that I started gaming and I've been gaming for how many years of my life. And the fact that you can actually get a job in this now is so incredibly unreal. Like, I just can't thank you guys enough too, genuinely. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do also.
That was the best way to end it. Thank you guys so much. We're definitely going to see you on Sunday at the winners press conference when you guys take the Valorant tournament by storm.